Hmm. Hmm.
बंद करते हैं और इसी ओपन करना है और then compose 10 minutes.
Hmm. Hmm. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल वो रैक स्पेस लगेगा। नहीं बड़ा अच्छा है।
Good afternoon, everyone. So we'll wait for 2 minutes to start. Let's wait for some time so that other participants can join. Am I audible? Just confirm me through chat box. Just write if somebody can confirm me that you guys can hear me. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. So I'll take 2 more minutes and then we'll start. All right, guys. So I think we should start now. And let me just quickly share my screen. Most of you have already seen the topic we'll be discussing today. And all right, perfect. Right. So guys, you can see the screen, right? Please confirm everybody can see the screen. Great. Thank you so much. Right, so let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Saqib Iqbal, and I'm the Regional Director of IFA for UAE. And I am the owner and partner of SA Consultants, which is a Dubai-based audit firm. The purpose of these kind of webinars, I'm sure most of you have already attended these kind of webinars, which we usually arrange. So this is basically to arrange CPDs for our existing members, and especially the knowledge update, which is very important. And IFA has provided that platform to the members and non-members to attend these kind of webinars. So today's topic is, it was very different kind of topic. When we were discussing about the different topics to arrange the webinars, so we came up with this. There was this suggestion to arrange the webinar on accounting for skills and human capital. Why it is important, especially after the pandemic situation. So we have seen a lot of efforts towards retaining the human capital, and there are some instances where there have been a lot of situations where people have faced recently during the pandemic, especially where there were like job cuts, all those kind of situations where people actually faced. Now, our purpose was to come up with the important with this important topic to divert the attention and to understand the skills related accounting and human capital need within the organization, and to confirm and to emphasize more on the human capital side. Now, I would like this session to be very interactive. I'll try to ask questions to you, and I'll be, very, I'll be happy to answer any sort of question at the end of the webinar. I'll keep it very smooth, very short and crisp, as always. I'd like to, and I believe that in the short time, I really don't want to, get everybody bored with the extensive information. No, it won't be like that. Right. So I'm sure most of you guys have already been aware about the accounting, and most of you must be, the part of any accounting body, maybe IFA or any other accounting body, right? Great. So let's start. My first question to everybody. It's not just, it's just not a slide. Please don't take that as a slide. I would really like to get some answers or inputs from you. What kind of skills do you think, if you can see, there are 6 types of skills which are there on the slide, which include generally one thing is skills for the employees. The other one is experience, education, intelligence, loyalty, and punctuality. Which one out of these 6, you think that are most important for your employees, for your colleagues, for yourself, if you're working with some organization? Which one of these is most important? I would really want to understand this. If somebody can, come back and, give me some answers. Somebody wants to answer? Skills, right, great. So one answer I've received is skills. Second is experience. Okay, skills, understood. All right, great. So mostly people are with the skills and experience. I really understand that it's one of the important, aspects. Yes, now we have very different aspect coming from Tayyip. Tayyip, thank you so much. Loyalty is very important. But do you think loyalty is directly linked to some benefits? Do you think loyalty is linked to some, outcomes? If you do not feel like that you're getting something out of that organization or being working with some organization, would you be continuously loyal to that organization? No answer. Yeah. If we say skills and experience, it is much better. Absolutely, Kusala. I really understand that the skills and experience is much more interrelated. But yes, I believe if it comes to me and somebody asks this question to me, so I would also be, yeah. So we have a new aspect. Absolutely, skill can be developed, experience can be gained, but loyalty in-house. Absolutely, Usman, you have rightly said. Now I really like your answer. So these things are much more important if you just focus on these six aspects of human capital. If you do not develop right skills, if you do not develop the right experience, if you do not give education and training to your existing employees, if you do not work on their intelligence, if you do not work on their loyalty, and if they are not punctual enough, so you won't be able to develop your human capital within the organization. So these are all very, very important. So I'll take you to the next slide now. So what is the importance of the human capital in a business overall? If you look at the corporate sector, SMEs, we being a part of IFA, which is always more focused on SME and SMP sector. So you can see there are like 5-6 aspects of it. So human capital allows an economy to grow. Absolutely. So this is the fundamental source of economic growth. If you look at the human capital side, it's not just one organization. It is all about the support to economy, support to your organization. And absolutely, it is a source of both increased productivity and technological advancements. It is not just one thing. It is all about the productivity. It is all about the technological advancements. And if you do not invest in the human capital, so you will not be able to get yourself to the next level, and you will not be able to move yourself to the next part where you will feel the advancements. So now, in fact, the major difference between the developed and developing countries is definitely the rate of progress in human capital. You guys must have seen this, right? That there is a huge gap between the developed and developing countries. What is that related to? So this is absolutely because of the human capital. The developing countries are not able to invest a lot on their human capital. They're not being able to allocate the right budget. They are not able to train their human capital in the right direction, in the right way to achieve their economic goals, to achieve the economic growth. But if you just look at the developed countries, so you would see that overall they do invest a lot in their human capital. So if you are investing, so how it will actually help you to gain more benefits, to gain more results. So it always allows the economy to grow, absolutely. It increases the innovation. You invest in your human capital, you get more innovations, you get more advancements on technological side, non-technological side, of course. So, and also it is very important to invest because you will definitely get more ROI, which is the return on investment. That will definitely increase. Even if you just look at one organization side, so you will see that there'll be more increased ROI. Studies have proven that those companies who actually invest more on their human capital, if they invest more on their employees in terms of training, in terms of education, in terms of their well-being, so they get more productivity. And absolutely, you will feel that if you are investing more in your employees, they will participate more, and they will definitely try to be the better, employee for that particular organization in return. So that is very, very important, of course. I really want to take a few minutes and to discuss this thing. Why? Because if you see the overall COVID-19 effects, it has been a situation where everybody had faced some problem, distraction problem, and any side of. So there have been a lot of aspects we really want to discuss now. But do you guys think? I really want to see that. If you can, sort of write one liner in the chat box and tell me what is the most important part, or as a result of COVID-19 pandemic, what situation or worst situation you guys actually faced within your organization? If somebody can please, can give us some idea about that. Or everything was smooth for you guys? Absolutely, Kusama. I do agree with this. You said inability to experience right skills. Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Anyone else from you, please do write. I really want this to be more interactive. I really don't want this to be just another webinar. Guys, please participate. All right. So guys, spending less. Absolutely. Yes, you are absolutely right. Now, most of the people, I really don't know if you guys have faced any problem during the COVID, any job loss, salary cut downs, less budgets being allocated to the training side, not being able to get trained in the right way. So if there was any sort of situation, so absolutely, if you guys have not faced, it was really good for you, but people actually faced. So there has been some result due to the COVID-19 situation. So if you see that, so there are updated workplace layouts. This is one of the important aspect. So if you look at that part, so COVID-19 has effectively changed, the current workplace aspects. And also it is very important that the employers, trying to sort of make sure that all of the employees return to the workplace. So they want them to work with best practices which they have learned during the COVID-19 situation. Now, so there might be very less social activities. There might be very less other activities outside the workplace or within the workplace. But most of the lifestyle-related changes, of course, remote working hours, many physical skill development institutions and the employees, there have been a lot of working hours losses. There have been a lot of employment losses. So there have been a lot of changes just because of this COVID. Now, loss of employment contracts, institutions being shut down, plans for the future pandemics, and they are spending less, non-social activities and remote working. How many of you are still working from home, or all of you have been, going to office now? Great. Office, so great. So most of you are now working from office, right? You feel there is some change in the office environment right after the pandemic when you resumed your office? Or it does feel like the same? Or there's some change? Absolutely, it has changed, of course. It is not exactly, it looks same for you. You are so lucky. But I feel personally, there have been a lot of changes just because of the pandemic. And now, if you look at the overall scenario, so people and the organizations are now preparing for the future pandemics. They will spend less on the other budgets, which are more essential, of course, to develop the skills and human capital within the organization. And this is why we've selected this topic, that they should not divert their funds and budgets to other parts of the business activity. Now, so the skill development, which is always a very important part of your job, that has been affected during the COVID. Schools were closed, of course. The quality trainings were not there during that pandemic, that era. Lack of effective and user-friendly distance learning platforms. You must have seen that just because of the when the pandemic hit the markets and the economy was hit, so people started to they started to look for different user-friendly distance learning platforms, and there have been so many platforms came up just like this. Zoom was there, Teams, so many other softwares came to the market, and the staff capacity to support the distance learning is also very less, and it was a huge problem initially for some organizations. And there have been a lot of financial constraints of the resources. Now, overall, if you look at these things, so if I've been actually reading one report recently that 87% of the executives said that they were experiencing skill gaps in the workforce, or expected them within a few years. They are expecting that to be there in the upcoming few years. Why this skill gap is there? Why? Because the recent 2 years, the quality of the trainings or the quality trainings were not there. People were not being able to train themselves, to update their knowledge, to improve their skills. So that is there actually have been increase in the skill gap, which employers are expecting from the employees or potential employees in the market. So overall, if you see that it has caused a clear demotivation among the learners and the teachers and the overall trainers within the market. This gap will only close if you focus on the training side. So there have been actually people started asking questions about this thing, that what is the recovery phase? This is the recovery phase. Post-pandemic is the recovery phase. What you guys can do, what all of us can do. So we need to focus more on the training side, to upskill our trainings, to upskill or to increase our skills through online learning, through new trainings, by updating our knowledge. So this will be there in this post-pandemic recovery phase. And now we have to focus more on this part. Now the companies have been looking for multitasking persons. This is very important. Everybody needs to understand this, that before pandemic, we used to see that companies used to ask for specialized people focusing on one part of activity, maybe just finance, payables, receivables, payments, cash flow. I'm just giving you example from accounting side of it. So, but now companies have started looking for for people who can do the multitasking, those who can handle different tasks at the same time. They can do everything at the same time, whatever they've been told to do. So it is very important for everyone, including all the accountants, including non-accountants, that they should be able to do the multitasking. For that, they have to change their perspective about their skills, about their job at the moment. If you are in a role of a leader, it is very important that you also think very differently now. If you are leading a department, if you are managing a department, if you are managing a team, if you are leading a team, so you have to think in a very different way. First thing, you have to become a coach. You have to become a facilitator, not just a leader. So you have to be more into the training side of your employees. You have to focus more on the facilitating them. Now, so they can, leaders need to reskill themselves. They have to upskill themselves and their workforce so that they can definitely deliver new business models, especially in this post-pandemic era. Now, to meet these challenges, I've seen that companies have been trying to craft different types of talent strategies or different types of training strategies where they can upskill and increase the overall skills of their employees with the best, by spending very less to to these kind of budgets. Why? Because I'll explain in the upcoming slides for that. Now, how we can reskill. So there are 6 steps involved, very important. I believe this is the most important slide. You need to identify. How you can do that? Rapidly, important. This is the most important part. You have to do it very quickly. You need to identify those skills which are very important for your business to recover. And why you need to do this? Because there have been a lot of changes in this post-pandemic era, and there have been a lot of new skills required to handle and to recover the overall business, business model. Then you need to build it. How we can build it? You need to build employees' critical skills to match with that business model. You need to launch tailored learning programs. You need to launch different types of learning journeys for your to increase and enhance these important skills or to close the gaps within your employees. You need to do it right now. Don't wait, frankly. If you guys are leading different teams, you have to do it right away. Start now. You need to test it. You have to make sure that the skills have been improved. You need to make sure that you're focusing on the long-term strategy. Then, of course, you have to act like a small company to have a big impact. And also, please do not stop the funds. Please do protect these funds for your learning budgets. Please do not stop doing that. Otherwise, if you do that, you will definitely regret in the future. Another big question, is there any sort of I'm trying to bring you to the accounting side of this human capital. What is accounting for human capital? Anyone can point out, any one of you, if you can give me some example. I'm still waiting. All right, I'll move to the next slide. Absolutely, yes, it is part of it. Yes, the performance evaluation is definitely part of it, but there are different other aspects. You guys, do you think that the current scenario, or the current the latest accounting techniques which we follow, the international accounting standards, do they recognize the investment in human capital? Do they recognize? Are the training budgets being perceived as investment or expense? Absolutely, these are perceived as expense. If you're following the accounting techniques, so of course you have to expense it out. I really understand that, absolutely. But do you think that it has to be perceived as an investment? It should be an investment, or you need to perceive that as an expense? So there are two aspects. One is the accounting aspect, where you will definitely expense it out. There is another aspect. You need to see that as an investment, because if you are enhancing the skills of your employees, if you are increasing and upskilling them, so definitely you need to think that, you need to take that as an investment. I'm not saying you need to, there are some changes required in the accounting system. No, it's not like that. It's all about the perception. Now, this perception has to change within the organization. There have been a lot of debates going on for almost a decade now, that the investment in the training, the budgets you allocate for the training, the budgets you allocate to enhance the skills, are those expenses, or it has to be on the balance sheet, or it has to be on the P&L. So of course, it will go to the P&L because of the categorization. It is an expense because the organizations cannot control, or they cannot take that as an asset. But the recognition within the organization and the management, it is very important. If you are following the accounting techniques, that's fine, but still you need to take that as an investment within the organization. Now, there is another part. So this is, I'll just take you the next steps because it's very important. Human capital as an investment, it is right, equivalent, or it is rightly important for your organization to invest and to gain benefit out of it. So investment in the human capital yields better return, just like an investment in the physical capital. Why? I'll prove you this. Just look at these points. If you are part of an organization and the organization sent you for different types of trainings, for maybe Excel financial modeling, better presentation skills, maybe Six Sigma, or any other sort of training, do you think that you'll be more satisfied that your company is actually spending some budgets to increase your or enhance your skills? Studies have proven, actually, in those companies where they actually allocate right budgets for their employees skills, to enhance their skills, they have more retention rates or improved retention rates than compared to any other organization which actually spends less. Why? Because it actually gives them the opportunity to engage more with their employees. It actually gives them the opportunity to satisfy their employees. to make sure that they feel that they are important. That's why the companies are actually investing in their skills. The overall return on investment will be much better if you, of course, invest. And also, you can attract more employees or the right employees for your organization by seeing, because the potential employees will see you as, spending more on these side of the businesses, and they will definitely perceive that it is more important to be part of this kind of organization where their overall skills are improved. So what are the advantages? It's very important. The motivation, the increased efficiency, employee satisfaction, and all those factors. I've already given you a few of aspects of this. But we need to talk about the inabilities of our existing accounting systems as well. Why our existing accounting system is not being able to accommodate or come up with the reliable and those methods through which you can do the measurement and through which you can see that human capital development is an investment. Now, it actually comes up with the reliable and verifiable methods of measurement system is one of the challenges for reporting on human capital. It is, of course, a big challenge for the existing reporting. Now, what actually I've seen that there have been no cost characteristics. If you look at the one of the aspect of the overall, So one of the aspect is basically that you cannot see that the whole costing side of it. If you are spending on your employees, if you're spending more on your employees for developing their skills, you cannot actually look at the cost side of it. Why? It's very important. There have been no measurement methods being implemented within the accounting system. If you have spent some budget in the previous year, would you be able to measure that against that budget? What was the return against that investment? There is no such thing. And that is the inability of your accounting system, the current accounting system, that we are not able to measure it in terms of money, in terms of the overall spending. So what are the problems with HR accounting? The problem is very straightforward. It is not easy to value the human assets. It's very, very difficult to see. And there is no such evidence that if you have invested, you cannot find evidences against within the results of that investment. And that is the problem, that HR is overall, it's full of the problems related to measurement. And that is the main problem with the HR accounting. Now, if there is something, so I would like the overall, maybe these skills can be amortized, these investments can be amortized over the period of next 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year, by the time when the employee is there. I really don't know. Maybe there could be some fix to it, but there is no such fix at the moment. And that is the limitation. So currently, the overall reporting, if you see, I'll just skip to the next slide. Why? Because there have been, I think that one of the slide has been missing. But if you see that, currently there have been reporting requirements within the companies, but those requirements are not properly met. There have not been so much right reporting methods within the organizations, and very few companies actually disclose the turnover of their employees. Very few companies actually report the overall the payroll expenses, overall training budgets being involved within the organization. So it's very, very important that companies perceive and the management start perceiving the overall training expense as an investment. Whether they follow of course, on the other hand, they are following the accounting side of it, but they need to start perceiving that as an investment. it was very quick one. I believe that these traditional methods has to be changed, and there have been a lot of discussions going on, and I would really want you guys to be able to understand this in future, what we currently are working on. So just for the sake of your interest, in the very next month, IFA is going to arrange 3 more meetings. On 8th of March, there is another webinar you guys must receive. That will be conducted by a very senior investment officer, a very senior guy coming from the technology background. So he will be conducting a webinar. And the second one, so we are going to start a podcast series very soon with the very, very influential people from the investment background, from banking sector, from accounting sector. And that podcast series will be, will be there for overall like 6 months and with different topics. So the next topic is the business planning and the importance of business planning. This will be within the month of March. Then on 11th of March, there is going to be a physical meeting, and that will be arranged, and that will be a closed door meeting. So with very few participants, you guys, once you guys receive, please do book that. If you guys want to attend that, it will be in Dubai. And right after that, there is going to be another webinar within March, and that webinar will be about the sustainability and the opportunities being created through sustainability for the SME sector. So these are the ones, and you'll find it very, very interesting. IFA is coming up with the huge, sort of skill development webinars and physical meetings, and you will find it very, very interesting. I'll just leave it to your side now. If you guys have any question, so please do write it to. You can use the question answer box where you can write the question, please. You guys have any question, please do write. You're facing any problem, you feel like that if I've missed any important aspect of human capital, if you guys feel like there is something which we need to talk about, please do write it. I would really love to hear your comments and to read your comments. I would really want you guys to participate, please. So Mr. Rumi actually asked that what is the role of HR departments which you are addressing to? So HR has a very important role within the organization, and I really want, I'm not saying that they're not doing their job, but I'm saying that the budgets being spent on HR, budget being spent through the HR departments on the human capital development, so those have not been properly measured. So every single penny being spent has to be properly measured, and HR is always full of problems just because of this, because they can't actually measure the progress. They can't measure they do not have any specific measurement techniques at the moment. And that is the same problem. So we, being an accountant, we also face the same problem because we perceive any expense or any spending on the human capital, we take that as an expense. So we need to change the perception within the management that they have to perceive that as an investment, that these amounts being spent on human capital is basically as taken as investment instead of just an expense. And if you are taking that as an expense, so you'll see that as a cost. So that is basically the whole scenario. I'm sure that I've answered it. I've answered your question. Anyone else? Guys, I really want to. Okay, so I'll shoot another question, a different type of question maybe. Do you think that these small and short webinars are helpful to increase or to gain the CPDs or increase the skills of your skill set of your, the overall within your career growth? Is it you feel that it is important to attend these kind of webinars? All right. So I've just received, okay, a simple letter of appreciation could help in motivating employees, if not appraisals. I feel the HR department should be more generous in appreciation. Absolutely, yes. HR has to be more generous. HR has to be more, instead of being strict, instead of being just, handling the human side of the organization. So they need to be more into the development side of the human capital within the organization. So their overall role has to be, I think, redefined. And also this aspect within the accounting, it also has to be redefined. And it's very important that we need to start thinking about it, because most of you people might be leading some teams. So you guys also need to change your perception that if you have been given some budgets, if you've been given some, allocated some budgets to your department. So you need to think that budget, you need to take that budget as investment instead of just being another expense. No. So if you start developing your employees' skills, you will feel that they are more productive. You will feel that they are more result oriented. If you will feel that they are more goal oriented, you will feel that they will give more time to your overall job. They will be more, skillful, and they will finish the job in the right way, in the right direction, within the given time frame. So it is very important. Okay, so I think there is no such another question. Okay. Okay, I have one. Absolutely, Basil. I do believe that. So Basil is saying that there have been recently, he has seen this, he has seen that there have been some proposals being put against, before management for the training and consultation program. So they have seen that as an expense. So they have cut it down. So they have declined to invest within that proposal. Yes, Basit, that is a problem. So companies in the post-pandemic era, in the recovery phase, they are taking it as an expense. But instead, they have to focus more, generating more or increasing the skills of their employees by spending more on that part and taking that as an investment instead of just another expense. I've seen personally within few organizations where they have been spending more on the training side. So what actually organizations have done, some of the organizations have created their own development tools. So within the organizations, they have created some online platforms for learning. They have been allocating different types of trainings to their employees to improve their skills. So, and they ask to complete them. If somebody actually does not complete that, so they come back and discuss with them that why you have not attended this training. And right after the completion of the training, so they actually do what? They actually come back and they ask the employee that was that helpful? So they actually get the feedback from employees so that they can maybe change that. They try to incorporate that feedback into the future trainings so that they can change the trainings if required in the future. So this is very important. And you guys also, within your organizations, you have to raise this issue to your management, to your seniors, or you might have to change your perception within your job role in the organization. Okay. All right. So I believe that there is no such another question. Thank you so much, guys, for joining this webinar today. And I really hope that you have learned something within this short time period. And for the next webinars, please do try to just follow the links on the IFS website. and you will find so many different interesting webinars conducted. So I really want you guys to go there to that link. Please follow that link and try to attend those very short webinars. And there is going to be like 3-4 webinars in the next month for UAE chapter, and also one physical training. So please do attend that. Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy. Take care. Bye bye. Cheers. Bye.